report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. You got Craig and TK and Head FD tuned in at the fish report.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Tune in to the fish report.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. My name's Craig Fissinger. That there is Ken Francis. And, of course, back in the sound room, we've got TK and Heavy D. Going to be talking to those guys in just a little bit. And, Ken, welcome to the winter sports season. Going to be talking some winter sports tonight. And, of course, that means basketball. But we do have a little bit of fall sports that we have to talk about, too, don't we?
Yes, we do, Craig. We've got three MAC schools still alive and kicking in the state football playoffs. We've got Minster, Coldwater, and Marion Local, Craig. So we're really looking forward to talking to Minster football coach Geron Stokes tonight. We got a nice live interview with him, as well as interviewing our girls basketball team at Russia, the seniors on the team, along with head coach Tim Hatcher as we introduce high school basketball 2014-2015 season, and it should be another exciting one.
Yeah, can't wait to get started talking about some basketball and talking about a little football yet. But before we get to all that, just like we do every week, got a weekly trivia question, and you're not going to ask me a winter sports question. You're going to ask me a fall sports question, right?
We're sticking with fall sports, Craig, because like I said, we've got three MAC schools still kicking, and they've got 25 state championships, Craig, the MAC does, in high school football. The MAC's got 25 high school state football championships. They possibly could get three more in the next couple weeks, Craig. But of those 25, who won the first high school state championship from the MAC?
The very first one.
The very first one. Was it Coldwater, Marion Local, Minster, or St. Henry?
Okay, now I noticed you didn't throw Versailles into that.
No, they had to be a member of the MAC. Otherwise, I will tell you, I'll give Versailles credit, they would be the correct answer. But they were not a member of the MAC at the time.
Okay, a little help there. Well, listen, I'm going to have to give that a little thought. Maybe the Fish Report viewers out there can help me. And if you're watching us on the Fish Report live page, you can scroll down, put your answer there, and we will check that out by the end of the show. All right, Ken, well, let's get things started, and we'll talk some girls basketball. We're going to actually focus tonight on the Shelby County Athletic League, and let's start things out by looking at what happened last year and see how things ended up.
Well, Craig, it was another excellent year for Shelby County girls basketball. The Fort Loramie Redskins won the league last year, Craig. They won a perfect 12-0. They went 26-3, Craig, for the second consecutive year. They went all the way to Columbus this year, that time falling in the state semifinals to the eventual state champion Reedsville Eastern. The Russia Raiders, Craig, had a very good year last year, finishing at 9-3, 16-8 overall. They were district runners-up and had an excellent season under Coach Tim Hatcher, Craig, and they return a fine nucleus from that team this year. The Anna Rockets were under kind of a rebuilding year last year. Look for them to be strong, but Craig, it's pretty nice when you can have a rebuilding year and you go 8-4 in the league. So the rest of the teams kind of followed suit. The Houston Wildcats had a nice season last year at 15-10. They've got a few nice players back. Jackson Center, Craig, look for them to rebound well this year. They've got a very strong class of underclassmen. They had a great year in volleyball. Look for that athleticism to carry over to basketball. Fairlawn's got some nice players, and then you got the Bokkens Trojans looking to improve on last year's season.
Well, let me ask you a question. Prior to last year, you had to go back 6 years before it was any team besides Fort Loramie and Ann in that top two spot. Loramie and Ann, it was always 1-2 there. Last year, Russia earns that second spot. Do I sense maybe that Fort Loramie Anna dominance that we've seen for so long, maybe it's coming to an end?
Well, Craig, success breeds success, and the Fort Loramie Redskins under Coach Carlos Siegel have had an excellent run, Craig. I don't see that ending none too soon, although I do look for them to be challenged a lot this year by Russia, by the Anna Rockets, maybe by Houston and even Jackson Center. So don't look for Fort Loramie to be as dominant as what they've been in the past, Craig, but I still look for them to be the team to beat initially in the Shelby County League. Russia, Anna, of course, they're going to be right there near the top like they typically are. And so, it's going to be a more competitive league this year, I feel. The last couple years, Fort Loramie has literally ran the table in the league. So look for Rushiana to be in that mix as well.
Yeah, Loramie certainly got a little rebuilding, I guess, or reloading to do after losing their top three in Rose, Meyer, and Westerheide. But I know they've got a pretty deep bench, and I'm sure they'll step it up. Let's talk about some individual players, maybe that might make some impact this season. And I'll start things out. I just mentioned Fort Loramie and losing the big three, I'll call them there. But they've got a girl coming back by the name of Jessica Berger. And Jessica, she's probably got as much experience coming back as anyone. I actually talked to Coach Siegel about a month ago. I know they're looking for a lot from her, but she's also going to have to get a lot of help. And Coach mentioned girls like Janelle Hoying, Holly Bananzer, and Kelly Turner is helping out. Another girl I think that's going to have a big impact this year is Anna senior Kayla Bensman. Ken, she's a 5'7" guard, and she's as good as probably anyone around. She was a big part of that 2013 state championship team at Anna. She's actually already committed to play at Ohio Dominican next year. And one other girl I want to mention is over there at Houston, a junior by the name of Macy Stang. Ken, not only is she a pretty good softball player, as we saw this past spring, she's a pretty good basketball player too. She averaged a little bit over 9 points for them last year, and I think Houston's going to look at her to lead. So,
Craig, I've got some girls I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to start off with one of the leading scorers in the area last year, one of the leading returning scorers, and that's Audrey Francis. She had the sophomore from Fairlawn, had a great year in volleyball, Craig. Last year she averaged 18 points a game, 9 rebounds a game. So look for her to lead Fairlawn, and I look for Fairlawn again to be one of them teams that continues to improve and improve as the season goes along. But she's definitely going to be the engine that runs that car over there in Fairlawn. So also look for Nicole Fote from Jackson Center. She's a talented girl over there. They've got a nice young class of athletes over there. Again, they proved that during the volleyball season. I look for them to carry that right onto the hardwood floor for first-year coach Scott Dosek. And Craig, finally, the Russia Raiders. Again, I think they're going to be very competitive this year. Look for them to challenge for the Shelby County League title this year. They're going to be led by a core group of seniors, but primarily in the post, Kylie Wilson and Claire Sherman. Look for them to be two girls tough to stop inside.
Yeah, well, speaking of those Russia Raiders, we actually wanted to stop in there on Monday night, watch their first scrimmage of the season against St. Henry. Because of the weather, that gets postponed till Tuesday. So we went back again on Tuesday. Gets canceled because of the weather. However, we did have a chance to sit down with head coach Tim Hatcher and his 5 seniors and chat a little bit. We did a feature on the Raiders, and let's check out the video on that. The 2014-2015 Russia Lady Raiders are coming off one of the more successful seasons in recent history. The Raiders finished last season with 16 wins, 8 losses, which is the most wins they've had since the 2000-2001 season when they finished 19-4. Last year, the Lady Raiders won the Pickle Holiday Tournament and made it all the way to the district final before losing in a close battle to Felicity Franklin. We talked to head coach Tim Hatcher about last season's success and what he has to look forward to this year.
I think we're bringing back roughly 87% of our total scoring and rebounding percentages. We've worked hard this summer. We've got experience to our 2 most underclassmen players that we had last year due to injuries, so they were forced into action earlier than what we had planned, but they matured quickly, helped us out throughout the season, and very high expectations with them along with our returning linemen this year.
All right, well, speaking of those returning lettermen, you bring back a senior star in Kylie Wilson. Been playing for the Raiders for a lot of years, since her freshman year to be exact. What makes Kylie so successful?
Just her worth ethic. She's willing to get inside and do the dirty work. She ends up guarding, chances are, the longest person on the opposing team, and she's willing to go in there and sacrifice her body a little bit and do the things that makes us successful, particularly on the boards and inside scoring. One of the things we're looking at this year is asking her to stretch the defense a little bit, though. We've been working with her and Claire all summer long about putting the ball down on the floor, drawing the length away from the basket, then taking them hard to the hole, and then finishing with mid-range jumpers instead of everything at the basket, just to give us another angle of which we can score and another threat that we will be.
All right, well, you mentioned Claire Sherman and Kylie and Claire. Actually, there was a basketball website this week that named those 2 girls as one of the top 100 girls to watch in the Dayton area in basketball. What makes Claire so exciting?
Claire's length and her versatility with her speed. Obviously she's got the arms of probably what I call a 6'2", 6'3" player, and we tease each other about her length all the time. But her speed is so deceptively quick. And one of the things that we're going to try to do this year is put her in more situations where she can utilize that length and create turnovers for us as well. She's also developed a nice mid-range jump shot using glass well. So again, we're hoping that any team that we play that's got two large post players, two exceptionally tall post players, draw them away from the basket, then allow us to use our quickness and go into the hole.
All right, you have another senior that didn't finish the year with you last year, and that's Claudia Mon, and went down with an ACL injury in December, I believe, in the New Knoxville game. What are you expecting from her this year?
Claudia's looked sharp. Obviously, she wasn't able to participate over the summer with us. She was able to get in cross country second half of the season, I believe, and got some great conditioning out of that. But she doesn't seem to be impacted on lateral movement whatsoever. Claudia's always been more of a defensive player on the prowl for us, a good person on offense to stop and drop, and also taking the ball to the hole, and she's not hesitating at all on any of those things for us. So she looks back at full strength, so that's going to really give us a lot more depth than what we had last year.
All right, and a couple other seniors, Allison Garrity and Emily Borchers, came off the bench for you last year. What are you expecting from those two?
Again, what we see with Allison is that length that we have that gives us some depth to spell Claire and Kylie. With Emily, that gives us the scoring punch that we need again coming off the bench. And there's obviously, the way we see things right now, there's 8-9 kids that could essentially start for us this year. And based on the personnel that we're playing on a given night, that gives us a lot of versatility.
Okay, well, let's talk about those underclassmen real quick. A couple names that come to mind are Lauren Heaton, Tiffany Hatcher, and Maria Heron, just to name a few. How have they been practicing so far?
Lauren's transitioned quite well, just like Emily from cross country, and Claudia for that matter. Lauren's got one of those intangibles that you can't teach, and that's just flat-out speed. So we're looking to put her in, again, situations where she can use that. We did that second half of last season and saw some profitability from it. And this full season this year with her confidence up on that, I think that'll help us out. And, again, to give us another dimension, going hard to the hole. Maria is just a flat-out shooter. We've got some new wrinkles that we're putting in this year, some what I call my next layers in my offense that we didn't have the ability to do last year with changing everything that we did. But that should give Maria and Emily, for that matter, and Claudia and Tiff more opportunity to come back off screens and looking for quick jumpers. Tiff's another sophomore there that probably a little more defensive-minded than she is offensive-minded, but she had some great offensive games last year for us when she was forced into a starting role with injuries to Maria and Claudia, which occurred at the same time. But she matured quickly and handled it pretty well. So, again, I think she'll fit right in with what we're trying to do with the up-tempo and pushing the ball and shut down defense.
All right, one more question, Coach. You open the season next Friday against Sydney. Always a good game. What kind of energy can the Russia fans bring to your girls?
We're hoping they'll bring all kinds of excitement. I think everybody knows 2 years ago Sydney came here and Connor Harris lit us up pretty good for a 49-point game and beat us in overtime. And last year we go up there and it was more of a in the trenches, physical battle, our length against their length, inside, outside. We got in some early foul trouble and really couldn't do the things that we wanted to do defensively. But I think this year we've been talking to them about physicality and mental toughness, and I think we're probably more prepared for them. They're understanding my system now, the year under their belt and the summer under their belt. So I'm thinking it's going to be a good game. It'll be a good game for us to come out of the gate and be tested right away. Sydney's coach, she does a great job. She's got the kids playing hard. We played them a little bit over the summer, and they've got some great size on the inside, and they can knock it down from the outside as well, so it'll be a good test for us.
We also talked to the Lady Raiders seniors about what part of their game they want to improve this season. We're here now with Russia senior Claire Sherman. And Claire, what part of your game do you want to improve the most this season?
This season, I'm going to work on taking more outside shots and putting the ball on the floor more often.
Emily, what part of your game do you want to improve the most this season?
On my foul shooting, I want to shoot around 70%.
Kylie, what part of your game do you want to improve the most this season?
I hope to improve on having a more aggressive defense and shooting more outside shots.
Allison, what part of your game do you want to improve the most this season?
I'm looking to be more aggressive inside and shoot more.
All right, how about you, Claudia? What part of your game do you want to improve the most this season?
Make some more outside shots and get some defensive stops.
All right, Ken, that was the head coach of the Raiders, Tim Hatcher, and his 5 seniors. I want to go back to the sound room and talk to the guys back there. I know they know a lot about Lady Raiders basketball. I want to start with you, TK. I know the Raiders haven't been getting in a lot of scrimmages, or any scrimmages for that matter, but they do have a little showcase coming up this Saturday, don't they?
Yeah, they do, Craig. Playing over in Troy again. Quite a few years the Raiders have made that trip early in the season or beginning of the season to warm things up. This year playing National Trail at 5:25 on Saturday, the 22nd, over there in Troy. Also, a couple other, a little bit more local schools. Obviously, everybody's local there, but Sydney will be down there playing, as well as Anna. So looking at Shelby County, 3 teams heading down there to have a little fun at the Troy Invite.
All right, and I understand you're actually going to be maybe calling some play-by-play for the Lady Raiders this year with our own Ken here, I believe.
Yeah, we're going to try and move on from some of the success we had with baseball early in the spring and a little bit of volleyball this fall, and we're going to give it a go at basketball, and we'll see what happens. All
right, well, I want to ask Heavy D a question back there as well. And Heavy D, I know you're always a big fan of the Russia concession stand. And I was told that the band boosters who run the concession stand actually unveiled their new menu here the other day. And I want to go to you on that. Any surprises that we might see this winter season?
I don't mean to correct you, but I'm a big fan of any concession stand. Couple nice features this year at the concession stand there at Russia. Going to try the soft pretzel out this year.
All right.
And also going to mix that up with a little bit of sweet and unsweetened tea. And if you show up to the game on Saturday morning, don't be surprised if there's not Pop-Tarts and orange juice available for your dining pleasure.
Wow.
And there's the old favorites, the nachos and cheese, the walking tacos, the hot dogs, and, of course, that great popcorn.
Wow.
Well, you might as well just skip supper, skip lunch, skip breakfast. Just head on up to the Russia concession stand.
Absolutely. They're going to have the cheese with them pretzels then, Heavy?
You can only dare to dream.
Oh, man. All right, good stuff, guys. Thanks for that report. And, Ken, that's going to do it for our girls basketball talk. We're going to take a short break, though. When we come back, we're going to be talking some football, including that big interview with Minster coach Geron Stokes. Stay there. We'll be right back.
My baby finally gave up on me. I can't say that I blame her. She just got tired of playing a losing game. I should suck on my pride and beg that girl to come back home. Deep down I know she's better off, 'cause fools like me are meant to die alone. Someone give me one good reason, one good reason to smile. I'm trying to be that guy my mother prayed that I would be. Some days I feel like hitting the mark, some days I fail hopelessly. I think I'm alright, I just stumble from time to time. Oh, my mother knows I'm trying to be that guy.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of Fish Report Live. Before the break, we were talking some girls basketball. Ken, now we're going to talk a little football. And when we ended our fall sports season, the playoffs were just getting started. Actually, we come back for the winter sports season. Playoffs are still going on. And like we said at the top of the show, several local teams still in it, aren't there?
Yes, we got 3 MAC teams in the regional finals. We're going to tip it off Friday night. Minster playing West Liberty Salem Friday night, 7:30 at Pickles Alexander Stadium. And then the 2 games on on Saturday, Craig, in Division 5. We've got Coldwater playing Findlay Liberty Benton. That game will be at Lima Spartan Stadium in Lima. And also at 7 o'clock, the D7 game, Craig. Marion Local taking on Sidney Lehman Catholic. That game will be played at Walpock's Harmon Field, also at 7 o'clock. So good luck to those three MAC schools as they make a quest for a regional championship and hopefully can move into the state semifinals.
Yeah, I know that was our trivia question tonight. Was about the MAC championships. You mentioned the possibility of all three going on to the state, and boy, wouldn't that be something else? But
yes, it would. You know, they could win Division 5, 6, and 7. Craig, like I mentioned earlier, they've currently got 25 state championships in the MAC, looking for 3 more this year.
All right. Well, you mentioned that first game on Friday night being between Minster and West Liberty. Minster, Ken, has been exciting to watch as anyone all season. Actually saw them back at the beginning of the season when they played against Fort Laramie. We had wide receiver Eli Wolf on our program earlier this year. Now we're excited to have the head coach of the Minster Wildcats, Geron Stokes, live on the phone with us right now. Coach, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, well, listen, first of all, congrats on what's been a really great season. I know it's your second season over there at Minster. Last year, you had a lot of these same guys, and you just missed the playoffs. This year, heading into this season, did you think you were going to have the success that you're having right now?
We knew we had some skill returning, but we didn't know what kind of team we were going to develop into. And last year, we were probably more talented than we are this year, and we just didn't know what type of senior leadership we were going to have, and these seniors have done an outstanding job of just pulling everybody together, making sure everybody's on the same page, and they kind of set a goal in December and said, here's how things are going to be, and here's how things are going to get done, and they've been great, keeping everybody focused and on track to reach what they want to reach.
All right, well, listen, we just mentioned we had one of your players, Eli Wolf, actually on earlier this season. Not only is this guy a first-team All-MAC wide receiver, he's a first-team All-Defensive back, or a linebacker, excuse me. Coach, what makes Eli so successful?
I'll tell you what, for as talented as he is, he's one of the most humble kids I've ever been around. He just shows up and goes to work and carries himself so well. I don't think you can find one person in probably the community that could say one bad thing about Eli Wolf. He's just a great kid, and when your best player handles himself and carries himself like that and has that blue-collar work ethic like he does, that's contagious, and it's really been big for our football team.
Hi, Coach. This is Ken Francis, and Craig mentioned Eli Wolf. Having a great year, having a great career at Minster High School. Let's talk a minute about your quarterback, junior Josh Nixon. He's having a phenomenal year. He's already broken the Minster touchdown passing records. Last week he had 3 more touchdown passes. He ran for 2 touchdowns. I know you were a college quarterback. What do you see in Josh that you like the most?
Well, I'll tell you, Josh can spin it, man. He throws a great ball. But his understanding of what we're asking him to do has improved so much throughout the year. We kind of put a lot of responsibility in his lap, and he has to make a lot of decisions for us. And he's been incredible with it. He drops back and he reads coverage as well. And the best thing, his legs have been big for us lately. And he's just another great kid that shows up and does extra work and competes like crazy, which, what else do you want out of a quarterback other than that? So he's had a huge season for us, and we need another big one out of him Friday night.
Coach, you've had a great year. You're on a great postseason tournament run. Let's talk about the game Friday night just for a minute about West Liberty. For our listeners out there that don't know a whole lot about West Liberty football, what's it going to take for the Wildcats to come away with a W Friday night?
We're going to have to play really, really, really hard. They're a program that's been in the playoffs. This is their back-to-back, their second time being in the regional finals the last 2 years. They have a well-established, good football program. And they know how to play. They're as close to a MAC school in Champaign County as there is. And they're talented. They're physically skilled all over the place. They run really well. They're big. So, you get to the regional finals, you got to play a complete football game, and your team's got to be able to handle all aspects of the game. So we need everybody to play well. We got to win the turnover battle. We got to play great defense, which at this time of the year, everybody has to do. So it's going to be a good one. I'm excited for it. Hopefully both teams play well, and it's a close ball game, and the best team comes out on top.
Coach, you're taking your team over to Pickwick again Friday night. This will be 2 weeks in a row that you get to play on the nice facility over there in Pickwick, Alexander Stadium. How does your team feel over there with the turf? Is that an advantage to your team, having played there 2 weeks in a row? And how are the facilities over there?
Oh, the facilities are incredible. I'm not sure they get much better. But as far as advantage goes, I don't know. I'm kind of in the mindset where I don't care where we play. We could play in a parking lot. We just want to go fight and go compete and play really hard. I'm not real sure. I think all football fields are measured the same, and I mean, it doesn't matter to us. We just enjoy competing and preparing and going and playing our tails off. So I'm sure our kids are excited. It's a cool venue to play the game of football at, but we want to win. It doesn't matter where or who or how. We just want to win.
Hey, Coach, listen, one more question, and we'll let you go. Now, I saw a quote after last week's game against Versailles where you were praising the work of your defensive coordinator, Brett Buchanan. I want to ask you, what kind of role does he play in your success?
Oh, man, Brett is huge. He's a 21-year-old kid that played for us at Urbana High School. He played quarterback for us, and he's never really been involved with the defense, but he's as foxhole as it gets. He's trustworthy. He's extremely loyal, and he works probably harder than anybody I know. So we asked him to be our defense coordinator this year, and I wasn't real sure how it was going to be. And he's just been incredible. He works his tail off, studies, asks questions. He's not afraid to make mistakes and learn from them. I'm probably pretty sure he's probably the youngest defensive coordinator around. And then to be in a good program with all the good coaches, and like in the MAC where he's got a handle, and he's just done an incredible job. He works his tail off and prepares our defense like nobody we've had before. So it's cool because the relationship he and I have, and then he's great with our kids, and the kids respond to him really well. So very mature for a 21-year-old kid to handle a situation like that, and it's been big for our program for sure.
All right, well, listen, hey, Coach, that's great stuff. We're going to let you go. I do want to say to you, though, best of luck this Friday night, and thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Coach Stokes, and good luck to you Friday night. Go Cats.
Thank you.
All right, that was the head coach of the Minster Wildcats, Geron Stokes. Ken, actually the first time we've ever talked to him, and seems like a pretty good guy.
Yes, he does, Craig, and obviously, just in his second year at Minster, and he's done a great job over there, especially, to have him in the regional finals, sitting at 9-3, just his second year. Congratulations to him and his team.
All right, and I believe you got one news note on someone covering the game on.
Yes, we do, Craig. Our partner, NK Telco, will be covering that game. The game being played Friday night. They'll actually be showing it on NK Telco replay at noon on Saturday and Sunday both. So tune in to NK Telco to watch that game between Minster and West Liberty Salem.
All right, Ken, and that's about going to wrap it up for us tonight. I do have one more thing to get to, and that is that trivia question you asked me at the beginning of the night. Why don't you give me the question again, and I'll have the sound room guys check the telemetrics out.
Well, Craig, like I said, the MAC has won 25 state championships in football, Craig. But of those 25, who was the first team to win one of those state championships? Who won the first ever MAC state championship in football? Was it Coldwater, Marion Local, Minster, or St. Henry?
And I know it wasn't Versailles either because you told me that.
No, Versailles doesn't count.
All right, let's go back to the sound room, guys. What do you got back there on the telemetrics?
Yeah, all the hits crashed the server, so we had to reboot that. And when it came back up, it said Minster decisively.
Oh.
That seems to be the popular answer because I'm getting some text here, and I got my old texting buddy here, KB, and he says that he actually says it's Minster as well, and he actually throws out the year 89-90. So Ken, I guess
you got Coldwater, Marion Local, and St. Henry. You're going to go with Minster.
I'm going to go with Minster. We just had the coach on tonight. I got to go with Minster.
You got to go with Minster. And Craig, you know what? The Wildcats are the first ever state championship in MAC football.
Right.
You're exactly right. And your helper there online, 1989 is correct. So interesting. 88 they were actually state runner-up, I believe, and then 89 they actually brought home the gold trophy for the first ever state football championship.
All right, good way to start out the winter sports season.
Yep, we'll go to basketball next week, I promise.
I believe Eli Wolf's father, Jamie Wolf, was on that team in '89.
That's a great a great report back there from our sound room. So interesting, and we've had Ethan Wolf on our show, we've had Eli Wolf on our show. So
maybe we'll get Dad on someday.
Maybe we'll get Dad on and get some Ernst Sporting Good paraphernalia from him.
All right, well, listen, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in. Also want to thank our guests tonight, Coach Tim Hatcher and his 5 seniors, as well as Geron Stokes over there from Minster. Ken and I and the crew, we're all going to be back again next week, same time, same place, talking some more basketball. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and good night, everyone.
Hanging at the fish report. 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 For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report.